Hello and welcome to Practical Chaos Podcast. I am your host, Emily, and we're going to dive into that bad advice given with the best of intentions. This is your first time. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. So today we're going to be talking about treat others how you'd like to be treated. Now, this is obviously from the Bible. If you were unaware and have been saying it, it is from the Bible. And at the same time, it's an age-old saying. It comes from the Bible and has just kind of been spewed at children and adults alike for many, many, many moons. And will continue to have this happen for as long as people can say, treat others how you would like to be treated. Now, with this one, it's a little bit different than the rest of the advice that we kind of delve into, as there is a little bit of truth, and I do believe a little bit in what it's saying, but I believe the biggest thing with it is that you need to be aware of how you are treating other people in order to really get the most out of what this advice is saying. Because if you're not aware of how you're treating other people, then that means that you're not really thinking about what's going on. And so when you tell someone to treat others how you'd like to be treated, you're essentially telling them, you're being a jerk, how about you be a nicer person? So maybe we just need to say that instead of being so polite, and then these people would understand what we're trying to ask them to do. You know, being aware of how we're treating others and making sure that we are treating people kindly, I feel is a really big thing, because there's so many people out there who are just not getting treated the way that they need to, and are almost treated worse than some people treat their own dogs, which is absolutely ridiculous if you think about it. You know, being a decent human being is very important, and I believe that by using this advice in a different way, we might be able to make the world a little bit of a better place. Let's all be nicer to each other and see what we can do. You know, when we look at this advice, we really need to be asking ourselves a really big thing. What would the world really look like if we all only treated others how they treated us? Who would be the catalyst for how you treat others? Is it going to be the person who smiled and said good morning and you ignored them? Or maybe it's going to be the person who yelled at you at the gas pumps because they almost backed into your car and then decided to be a jerk about it and tell you that you were in the wrong when you weren't and you had your baby in the car. Not that anything like that has happened to me recently, because that would be ridiculous, right? And what about if somebody made a bad first impression and we were only treating people how they treated us? We never treated them any different, and we only treated them the way that they treated us, and they made a terrible first impression. Maybe they were a jerk. Maybe they said something wrong. Maybe they made a joke that you found very tasteless. Are you going to really judge somebody on that? Are you going to treat them how they're treating you? Are you going to sit there and be like, nope, this is all that there ever was. Can I never have a bad day again? Like, these are the questions that go through my head when I think about things like this. I'm very ADHD, and so my mind just goes spiraling into, what if everyone only treated each other how they were treated? Would we all be better people, or would the world be a worse place? Like, there's so much that I think about when I think about this. And the biggest thing that I kind of grew up and I was told that I like a lot more than treat others how you'd like to be treated is treat everybody with respect. Treat everyone like a human being. You know, if I'm working a job, I'm going to treat the CEO with the same amount of respect that I treat the janitor. You know, I was a waitress for many years, and in waitressing, obviously, I'm going to treat the customers a certain way, and you have bussers. Well, these bussers aren't always treated the best by some of the servers, and it's really a shame to see, and it's kind of sad, actually, because some of these waitresses do think, and waiters do think that they're better off than these bussers, who are really essential to you making sure that you're doing a good job and that you're getting the people and the money that you have. So I make a point to find those people and make sure that they know that they're appreciated. I told all of my bussers, oh my gosh, thank you so much for clearing that table for me. I really appreciate it. And there was one young gentleman in particular who would always tell me, Emily, I'm literally just doing my job. And I was like, yeah, no, I know, but I really appreciate that you're doing it, and I appreciate how fast you got it done for me. Guess whose tables are bussed faster than everybody else's? Guess who never had a problem with the dishwasher when I needed something done? Guess who ran into very few problems with the kitchen when I needed anything done? When you treat everybody with respect, it really just turns into this cascade of kindness from all of these people. Now, am I saying that they treated everybody kind? No. Am I saying I'm always super nice to everyone? No, I know I have my bad days, and there's probably days where I treated someone like a jerk and they went home and told their significant other or their good friends or their mom that there was this girl at work who's an absolute piece of shit. But we're all people. We're all doing the best that we can, and we need to take that into consideration when we're giving advice like this and expecting others to kind of just look past how people are treating them. Like, yes, we do need to treat everybody with respect. You know, I'm going to be kind to everyone. I'm going to smile at the homeless man, even if I don't have, anything to give to him. When I can help somebody, I'm not going to treat them like they're less than me just because of their situation or the job that they do. My son absolutely loves waving to the garbage man and, telling him hi and saying, thank you, garbage man. That's his favorite thing to do on a Friday. And am I going to stop him and tell him, oh, no, we don't. His job is just not as good as mine, so we're going to not do that. No, I'm never going to tell my son that. I'm never going to tell him to stop treating people with kindness the way that he wants to. And I know that's not what this saying is, but I do feel like people get it a little bit twisted when they talk about it. And I'm so sorry if I am all over the place today. I actually put this off way too long. I was a little bit of a procrastinator this week. I just had a lot going on. I did a few interviews, which was really fun. And then at the same time, I also was presented with some crazy options as far as my life goes and making some really big decisions when it comes to my family. And so if I seem a little bit all over the place, it's because I am. Because I'm going a little bit insane right now in my brain. I'm insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble for doing that. I don't think anyone's going to get me in trouble, but we'll see. All people deserve kindness. Just a little bit of kindness can go a long way. You could turn somebody's whole day around. The lady that yelled at me in the parking lot, theoretically, of course, because nobody would want to do that, when she nearly backed directly into my car and I actually had to speed backwards to not be hit by her. I wanted to say so many mean things. I just wanted to call her so many names. She got out of her truck very angry. I got out of my car and I just kind of shrugged my shoulders and was like, okay, I don't know what you want me to say, but if that made you feel better, I guess. And in not responding, I actually had another woman come to my defense and tell, this woman who was being very rude to me, like, hey, you almost hit her. You should kind of watch what you're doing. It wasn't, said in a rude way. It wasn't said with any sort of animosity. It was just said in a very matter-of-fact way, and I appreciated that a lot. Now, had I completely gone off on this other woman, do I think anyone would have kind of come back me up a little bit? No, I really don't, because they're going to look at me and be like, oh man, she's a bitch. She probably deserved that. And I could, like I said before, I could have just been having a bad day too. Maybe she just got off work and was having a terrible day. I really don't know. Did I appreciate it? No, I did not appreciate the woman yelling at me. Did I appreciate the other woman who took time out of her day to kind of support me and back me up because I wasn't about to kind of start a fight? Yes, 100%. I appreciate everything that she did. And obviously she made an impact because I'm telling that story to you now. It's the little things that we do to help support each other that really make the biggest impact. Is it being overly nice and compassionate every second of the day? As much as we all hope to, and as much as our, Instagram posts might tell everyone that we are, it doesn't happen. And when it doesn't happen, it's okay to give yourself some compassion and a little bit of grace and kind of tell yourself, oh man, I was a little bit rude when I did X, Y, Z. And guess what? You can do better the next day. Like, you don't have to sit there and beat yourself up over it. or you don't have to sit there and beat yourself up over, the one mean thing that somebody said to you, because maybe there was someone else out there who gave you a smile and told you to have a great day. And maybe you're the person that gave that smile and you weren't really feeling it. Everyone deserves kindness, and we should really just kind of kill people with it. But you also do not just let people disrespect you and walk all over you either. That's a really big part is, yes, I'm going to treat you how I want to be treated, but I'm also going to teach you how I want to be treated. Not by being rude, not by being mean, but I'm also going to let you know that I'm not going to stand for your disrespect. And that's a big thing too. And by telling people to treat others how you want to be treated, it's almost like this blanket of be super, super kind to everyone, even when they're degrading and this and that and the other. And I feel like that can lead to some really negative and toxic relationships, because we're accepting these people how they are, and we're just like, okay, I'm just going to, kill them with kindness. I'm going to treat them the way I want to be treated, but I never tell them that I don't like the way that they're treating me. Maybe nobody told them treat others how you want to be treated. Maybe they don't understand that how you're treating them is what you would like to see. People are not mind readers. And if you are a mind reader, please let me know. That would be super cool, and I would love to test out your abilities. But until that person reaches out to me and tells me that they read minds, we're not mind readers. We're all just here trying to do the best that we can. And the only way that we can help each other be better in that sense is by telling each other what we're expecting from them. What are the expectations of this relationship that we have? Whether it's a professional relationship or a romantic relationship. What are the expectations that I have for how you treat me? I can, do things for my husband all day, every day that I want him to do for me. But unless I look him in the face and say, hey, I would really appreciate it if you did X, Y, and Z. Or, hey, I really like it when you sit next to me and watch a movie with me. I really, really enjoy that. Those are things that maybe he didn't think about. Why? Because he doesn't read my mind. And I don't always remember that. And sometimes you get to be a crazy bitch and you're like, I've been doing all these things for all these people and nobody respects me. Well, did you explain to them how that makes you feel? Did you happen to tell them what would make you feel more appreciated in your home? Your home? Oh my fuck. You deserve the same respect that you're willing to give to other people. And like I said, you need to teach others how you want to be treated. You can't just sit there and say, okay, eye for an eye, if I treat them this way, they'll treat me that way. No, that's not how that always works, sadly. We need to teach others how we want them to treat us. We need to communicate, and we need to comprehend what other people are saying when they talk to us. These are all really big things that we need to do, and I ran out of my notes. I have no notes. Because like I said, nobody is a mind reader. And when we're sitting here and we're like, oh my gosh, like what the fuck is happening? Like that just doesn't always work out when we're like, why doesn't he treat me the way that I want him to? Why? Well, did you ever ask him how you wanted to be treated? Did you ever tell him? The answer is probably no. Because guess what? We're all crazy bitches sometimes. Sir, who is annoyed by your girlfriend hanging all over you, did you ever tell her that annoys you? Did you ever tell, anyone that's something that they do you just don't like? Whether it's a family member, it could be a stranger, like, hey, if you could just not talk to me like that, I'd really appreciate it. Let's just talk like decent human beings. Let's figure out what's going on. Let's just be some good beans. We don't want no bad beans here. We don't want no rotten beans. So let's just be some good beans and figure out what's happening. It's as simple as that. There's not a whole lot more that I can really go into on this one, because it's all about just teaching others how you want to be treated, not just treating others how you want to be treated. Because you can't expect people to know what you're thinking and what you're wanting out of a relationship with them. Like I said, it could be strictly professional. It could be a friendship. It could be a romantic relationship. But you can't expect everyone to know what you want. It's just that's not how the world works, sadly. And like I said, if you're a mind reader, let me know. Hit me up. Send me a message, shoot me an email, something like that. Because I would really love to talk to you and learn how to be a mind reader myself, because I think my days would just go so much better if I could read some minds. But there's just not a whole lot that I can say about this, as much as I would love to. And just treat people with respect. Understand that people aren't always going to know what you need from them, and to not be afraid to voice what you need from people either. Your needs are just as important as everybody else's, and how you feel is completely valid. Now, are you being crazy in the moment? It's possible, but they're your feelings. Nobody can tell you you're not allowed to feel a certain way. Even if you can sit there and say, man, I feel like a crazy person right now, guess what? That's still a feeling that you have, and it is still completely justified and valid. If you feel like something's not right, voice that. If you feel like something needs to change, voice it. Don't be afraid to voice your opinion and voice things that you need, because that's just as important as keeping and, taking into consideration what other people want and need. It's not something that we need to put on the back burner. Who you are and the things that you need out of relationships are just as important as taking into consideration other people's feelings. And you shouldn't feel the need to put all of their feelings first all of the time just because you are treating them how you want to be treated. It's okay to tell them how to treat you. It's completely all right. So, don't be afraid. Tell people what you want, and the world will be a better place. I'm sorry, I feel like this episode's really short. Like I said, I'm a little all over the place, so hopefully next week will be a little bit different. As of right now, I don't have next week's episode set in stone, so I have a few ideas I'm tossing around, and so I'm sure it'll be fantastic though, and I know that we will all love it together. If you ever have an idea for an episode, please don't hesitate to shoot me a message, send me an email. I am always open to listening to what you guys would like and what you want to hear me talk about. So here's where we talk about where you can find all of the good fun stuff that I do. So I do post a lot on both Instagram and Facebook. Some of it is very exclusive content. So please make sure that you're following me on those two platforms so you can stay up to date and have a voice in changing how the show runs and the different things that I talk about. Don't forget that on the first of every month, I am releasing a normal episode as well as an interview episode. The next interview that you will be able to hear from me is going to be a Crunchy Mom saga. That's all I'm going to give you at this point. I'll be announcing more of that the closer it gets to the first, and you'll be able to hear a little sneak peek of it when it gets closer there. You can find me on practicalchaospodcast.com. You can find a link to all of the episodes. Share me with your friends. Subscribe, like, all of that good fun stuff. I have also started a Patreon, which is Practical Chaos Podcast. I will go ahead and link that in the show notes, as well as on my Facebook page. I am going to set a goal for March. I'm hoping to get 10 patrons. I will be releasing content exclusive to that, including some commuter chronicles, some behind-the-scenes footage. I do take footage of all of my episodes, so I will start releasing that over on my Patreon. So if you'd like to get a little bit more of moi and a few extra episodes a month, please make sure to head over there, check it out. There's a bunch of different tiers. If you don't want to support me monetarily, I do appreciate all of the support you give me by interacting with me on Facebook. So please don't forget to head over there, give me a like, a smile, a follow, shoot me a message, let me know how you're feeling. I'm also always looking for new people to interview to be on the show. And if you would like to do that, please head over to practicalchaospodcast.com and head over to the social tab, head over to the contact tab, and you will find at the bottom of that page a form to fill out to go ahead and become a guest on my podcast, should it fit what we're looking for. So don't be afraid to head over there. As always, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. You are a fantastic being. Love you. Toodles.